And you,
That's what we gotta be.
and and,
Yeah.
and the thing is that all right. So first and foremost, let me rise and give praise to the great God of the universal law. I give honor to our prophet, the universal prophet, our prophet. But the universal prophet, when I say our prophet, I mean, yes, specifically for us to address the problems that we face, but universally, if applied, the world can be lifted up from the muddy grave. The whole world. Because one thing about nationality and divine creed, it's a universal thing. No matter where you go in the world, people identify themselves by their national standard and their religion. Whether you understand that or not, it's a fact. In any place in the world, it is what it is. It is what it is. And for us to go outside our divine creed and go outside of our national identity or national principle will sit us behind so far that we will never be able to see the light of day. So I give praise to Allah. I give honor to his prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to the forerunner of the prophet, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I give honor to where honor is due. I give honor to each and every one of you. Now, this chapter here. Woo! Now, on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, yeah. We on the road this week. We on the road this week, family. I'm telling you, I hope y'all done buckled up. Y'all been on Facebook. We on the road. Oh, we got people talking again. We got people dialoguing again. Listen, I remember when I came to social media teaching moral science and correcting errors. One of the errors that I was adamant about correcting, if anybody remember, it was the sovereign citizen doctrine. And they had the Taj Tariq doctrine, and they had the web page. I can't think of the name of the web page. I'm pretty sure Kinsey Baker remember that web page because it was real popular back then. It's not popular no more. But whatever it was super popular. Taj Tabay and his wife or ex-wife, Roz, RV Bay Publications. That's what it was. It was super popular. It was more popular than the temples. I'll tell you, Taj Tariq Bay now put in a lot of work. It was really more popular than a temple more. So hate me or love me, dislike me, call me crazy, if it wasn't for that campaign, that would have seen more shine than any temple more, quote unquote, would have ever seen. And that's a proven fact. And social media today is the bridge to the people, whether we like it or not. It is what it is. It's the bridge to the people. Everybody at the grocery store, like that. At the dinner table, like that. Driving the car, like that. Everywhere they go, they're like that. They getting information from this idiot box or this intelligent box. From the higher self that comes out of it or from the lower self that comes out of it. They're getting information. They're consuming information. And the campaign that we put on, those Moors that wanted to give a clear understanding about the prophet teachings, put in a lot of work. And it just wasn't me. I feel as though that I led the charge in many instances, in many ways, because my approach, I'm real loud, I'm real in your face, I'm animated. I'm always laughing. I'm having a good time with this demonstration. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? I don't take it personal. Salvation is personal, but what they talk about ain't personal. I say all that to say that now we have a conversation going on in social media about the legitimacy of people standing on the historicity of the Moorish Science Temple of America as an organization, as an administration, and as a clear path to organizational structure. In simple terms, everybody who is somebody who wants to be heard has an opinion. And that's a good thing. Because at the end of the day, opinions do not affect truth. And because everybody is having this conversation, per se, this is the opportunity to demonstrate the truth. This is the greatest opportunity for Moorish Americans in a long time. It's a great opportunity. Even this holy day meeting right here, I was inspired to name it. He's insane. He speaks as the devil speak. He is obsessed. Haven't we heard that before? Don't we hear that now? When somebody say why you do what you do, I refer right back to, you ever see a bona fide Christian and somebody talk about it, but the Lord says in John chapter 3 verse 5 that we shall not blah, 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 blah. And they come out to Christian, and the Christian come back with, well, in Matthew 13:55 it says. And then they say, well, you shouldn't be. Well, the Lord says in Luke 56. I took a page out the Christian book. Every time they say that I'm talking crazy, I say, well, you know they say Jesus spake as the devil speak. You know that, you know. You know they try to come at John for telling the truth. You know they try to come at Jesus for coming. I took a page out the Christian book. I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to go straight to the Quran on them. But the reason why these talks are so important is about this chapter right here. And we're going to break this down because if you can't get to the basic conversation of what's going on, if you can't get to the basic conversation of what's going on the surface level, there's no way that you're going to understand what's in this book right here. There's no way. If you cannot wrap your mind around basic truth, there's no way you're going to wrap your mind around this. And I'm going to help you wrap your mind around this if you are willing. If you are willing. What I mean by wrap your mind around, I'm talking about get a grasp of this. Because this is serious here. And we're going to, I said today in a live stream, I said, this is the true Adapt book. And we're going to take it up there in a minute. This is the true Adapt book. Watch what I tell you. It said Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. What does that mean? In our Islam, or the Eastern persuasion of Islam, they believe that that is one of the cardinal doctrines of Islam, the unity of Allah. But they never go into great detail as to what that means. The Prophet Noble Ali teaches us that God and man is one. That Allah and man is one. That the doubt is of thine own raising. That you are an exact replica on the micro scale. You're God. You the microcosmic deity of the macro deity. You are made in the image and after the likeness of God. And Jesus is speaking or spake on the unity of Allah and man. Basically, he's speaking on the oneness. So I want you to remember that whenever we read the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, one of the first things that we got to do is look at this, look at the title of it, and then break it on down. Because sometimes these stories can take you on a ride through India. You be sitting at the Ganges rivers like, whoa, You'll be right in your living room at the river of Benares like, whoa. You don't even know what you're doing at the river, but you there. But long as you remember the title, you'll understand why you're there. Because the opening of the chapter, you take you right to Benares. Then let's go to Benares. Benares is the sacred city of the Brahms. And Benares, Jesus taught. Now hold up. Do anybody know what Benares is? Benares is like the Mecca of the Hindus. It's the holy city. It's their Mecca. It's the spiritual birthplace of all the spiritual sciences that they hold dear to their heart. Whether people want to call it miracles, whether people want to call it magic, whether people want to call it whatever they want to call it, this is the center point of their spirituality. This is why when we read in our Quran, in our questionnaire, when we look at Mecca with the all caps, and we look at the land of Mecca, we understand that we could be being taught two different things and don't even know it at the time, because every nation has a center point of what they will call their Mecca. They have an east point of what they will call their Mecca. And the east point is where the most energy is most vibrant at, as our brother said, Tariq Hawkins Bray, the word vibrate. The center points all around the planet Earth where certain vibrations are more higher than others. With that being said, it says, Benares is the sacred city of the Brahms. And in Benares, let me meet my brother. And in Benares, Jesus taught. Eudraka was his host. Eudraka made a feast in honor of his guests, and many high-born Hindu priests and scribes were there. And Jesus said, now listen, said, many high-born Hebrew priests and scribes was there. And Jesus said to them, with much delight I speak to you concerning the brotherhood of life. The universal law is one, yet he is more than one. All things are one. And I love to do this. Any people, y'all been around for a little while, y'all know this is my favorite demonstration. It said, the universal law is one. God is one. God is one. Let me break it down to you. I love my piece of paper trick. It's so simple to understand. A child can understand it. God is one. The universal law is one. Yet he is more than one. It's the same piece of paper, but it's more than one now. But all things are one. The brotherhood of life is the same way. You are connected to the plant, you are connected to the bear, you are connected to the fox, you are connected to the goat, you are connected to the grass, you are connected to the tree, you are connected to you, and you are connected to me. All is one. This is the brotherhood of life demonstrated on this paper. All is one. See, when we understand that basic point, we have a better respect for one another, the creation, as well as a better respect for each other. A better respect for us, even if we don't know each other. And all things in existence. It said, the universal creator is one, yet he is more than one. All things is one. By the sweet breath of Allah, all life is bound in one. Why? Because all life comes from Allah. Without Allah, there is no life. So all things compose of the spiritual essence of God. I think that's very basic and simple. How can that be so complicated? That's very basic and simple. So it comes and says, so if you touch a fiber of any living thing, you send a thrill from the center to the outbounds of life. And when you crush beneath your foot the meanest worm, you shake the throne of Allah and cause the sword of life to tremble in its sheath. Let me stop right there. If all life is one, of course, if you harm anything connected to it, it sends a vibration through all that is connected to it. Don't that make sense? It's very basic. If everything is connected, you send a vibration once you harm any part of it. Very basic. I mean, these lessons are super, super basic, right? But many people don't want to take the responsibility that it takes, because you have to shake your habits of yesterday in order to unfold into that divine space today. And those habits of yesterday are hard to break for some people, because some people's soul is ensnared by the allurements of imagination that those habits make you feel good, that those habits are good for you. But we know most habits are not good for you. Most habits are self-destructive. So we don't like to let it go because we get stuck. But nevertheless, if we're able to let it go, then we understand the beauty of returning life by giving life. They call that karma. You get what you give. You get what you give. So this is one of the things that I have posed to a brother, a friend of mine in the Sunni community. I said to the brother one time, I said, brother, if you say Prophet Noble Drew Ali is not a prophet, right? I can accept that position. No doubt about it. I can accept it. From you, I can accept it. I said, but let's look at the philosophy. You said Prophet Noble Drew Ali is not a prophet. However, come Ramadan, when it's over, you're going to kill a goat in the name of God. You're going to lay the goat you're gonna slay the goat in a special way. Blood is gonna pour all over the place, and you're gonna eat this goat, and you're gonna say you killed it mercifully, and you're gonna say it's halal, and you got the right to do whatever you want. Let's compare that to Prophet Noble Drew Ali philosophy. That if you step on the meanest worm, let me read it to you. And when you crush beneath your feet the meanest worm, you shake the throne of Allah and cause the sword of life to tremble in its sheath. So if you can crush the meanest worm and cause the sword of Allah to tremble in its sheath, imagine what you're doing to a 150-pound goat. So do we condone taking life in that manner in the Moorish Science Temple of America? According to the Holy Quran in the Moorish Science Temple of America? Absolutely not. Are all of us there yet? Absolutely not. But the thing is that we understand the measure in which we must reach. There is no compulsion in Islam. There is no compulsion in the Moorish Science Temple of America. Understanding is the rock on which man builds himself. So once we understand the measure, we can strive to meet it. See, the Moorish Science Temple of America is unlike any other religious organization that ever touched foot on the ground. If you get into a Moorish Science Temple of America temple and somebody look at you and say, well, you know you ain't supposed to smoke cigarettes. You know you ain't supposed to drink. You know you ain't supposed to do that. See, the prophets say we shouldn't do. If they start doing that, be careful. Not saying that they're wrong, but be careful. In the Moorish Science Temple of America, we are taught the measure in what we must strive for, not the measure that compels you to do it overnight because somebody said it. You must do things or change because of understanding. Because understanding, again, is the rock on which man builds himself. So in the Moorish Science Temple of America, we teach the level that need to be met. And hopefully, through understanding, you will strive for it. And that's it, that's all. No one can browbeat you into heaven. No one can. And if they try, most likely they're going to browbeat you back into hell, because you ain't trying to hear that nonsense all the time. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Just give me the wisdom and let me make a choice. That is Moorish science. But now, our prophet teaches us that, I'm going to go to 9. Now, men, birds, and beasts and creeping things are deities made flesh. How dare you kill anything Once again, how dare you kill anything? Our prophet goes down to verse 10 and says, it is cruelty that makes the world awry. And when men have learned that when they harm a living thing, they harm themselves, they surely will not kill, nor cause a thing that Allah has made to suffer pain. So the prophet said, it is cruelty that makes the world awry. It is cruelty that throws the planet off balance. It is cruelty. One of the questions from Elijah Muhammad was that, what bring hail, snow, and earthquakes? And the answer is the black man of Asia. The black man of Asia, the God of Asia, however he chooses to word it. But basically, he's quoting this lesson that is cruelty that makes the world awry, which means that if your thoughts are true, if your actions are manifested, that cruelty, it's going to throw the planet off. It's going to throw the ethers off. It's going to cause earthquakes. And this is why we have the things that are going on right now. This is why the energy in the universe is so thrown off that you might wake up tomorrow and there might be some rumbling where you never heard it before on the news. It is cruelty that makes the world awry. It is the thought of man that caused these things to happen. So what did that teach us? We have to reconnect to the universal creator and modify how we think. Thinking with a pure mind, not a destructive mind. When we demonstrate the truth, the devil gets mad. The devil loses his mind. When I say the devil, I'm talking about the lower self. Loses his mind. People that are striving for the higher self, they nice and calm. Even if you disagree, they just go with the flow like, okay. You ever see somebody that's like a calm spirit? Because I'm so hyper, I see a lot of calm spirits, right? I see a lot of calm spirits. I be all pumped up, and they be just like, I'm like, man, I just dropped the bomb, man. You ain't feel that. Like, Islam, Sheik. No, that was deep, Sheik. Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? But that's a person that is comfortable in their journey. You can't move them. You can't rattle them. You can't shake them. You can't overexcite them. If they support the information, they're just happy to be in the number. If they disagree, they just happy to be in the number. Because at least they can say, I don't want that part, but that part I can rock with. And they still on that journey about the unity of life, the brotherhood of life. So they don't discount the brotherhood. Maybe they're just like, I ain't rocking with that information. So we're about to take it up for a second. Verse 11 says, a lawyer said, I pray to Jesus, I pray to justice. Jesus means justice. We need some justice around here. Tell who is this Allah you speak about? Where are his priests, his temples, and his shrine? And Jesus said, the Allah I speak about is everywhere. You know that was a brother. I don't care what you talk. You know that's how we talk. Where this? They try to pop slick. Hold on. Let's put it. Hey, yo, my man, for real? I hear you and all that. But where this Jesus? I mean, this Allah, whatever you talk. Where's this Allah you talking about? Excuse me, what'd you say? No, man, where the shrines at? Where the, you know what I mean, the temples? Where all this, where this law? Where this talk about? Man, you tripping, man. The law I speak about is everywhere. Ain't you breathing? You ain't see the tree over there? The law I speak about is everywhere, man. Where you come from with these type of questions? I mean, Jesus was a brother, man. I mean, he had come to him wrong. He said, the law I speak about is everywhere. He cannot be compassed with walls, nor hinged in about with bounds of any kind. All people worship Allah, the one, but all the people see him not alike. when we get into the lesson right here, we going all the way up, because whether you choose to understand that there's only a difference in language, not in principle, you will understand that the universal creator Allah is the same to the Hindus, is the same to the Greeks, is same to the Moorish American, it's the same all around the planet. It's only levels. Meek Mill says levels to this. It's only levels. It's only levels. You know what I'm saying? So if one sees Jesus as God, as the Son of God, if they are sincere, they will unfold to understand that ye are all God's children of the Most High. Everybody got to start from somewhere. If one sees that Allah is God and he's just an energy and a spook, if they are sincere, at some point they're going to realize that the energy of God, Allah, is within them, and it's a real manifest that you must bring out. But long as they're sincere, it's going to take it to the level of the true unfoldment of the divine essence of what it is for God, to understanding of what God is. But it got to be done from a sincere place. So at the end of the day, it says, the universal Allah is wisdom, will, and love. Listen to this. Let me slow it down for you. The universal Allah is wisdom, will, and love. Wisdom, knowing how to apply knowledge for the most practical, positive outcome. That's my definition. I'm just keeping it simple. Will, knowing how to harness the power of the spirit of the divine within you to push you to solve the most complicated problems that life throw at you. Will. You got to have the will to live. You got to will the things you want into existence. And you got to do it out of love. The purity of love. Wisdom, will, and love. This is the triune Allah. This is the triune Allah. It is a practice. It is an action. It's not an adjective. It's a verb. Wisdom, will, and love is an action that must be taken by the individual that understands it. But listen to what it says. It says that the universal law is wisdom, will, and love. 15. All men see not the triune Allah. All men see not the triune Allah. To solve the puzzle is to try to see the triune Allah in everything. But it goes on to say, all men see not the triune Allah. One see him as a law of might. Another as a law of thought. Another as a law of love. A law of might represents that will. When I say you got to will things into existence. So some people that see the triune Allah, they only see the will. Thought, that's the wisdom. Some see him as a law of thought. They see him as a law of wisdom. Where they take knowledge, they decipher it, and they make practical decisions to push them to the next level into a better space in life. They only see that part. And some as a law of love. But without the three together, we still got so much ways to go. It says, man ideal is his God. And so as man unfold, his God unfold. Man God today, tomorrow is not God. So you have to be in the more science tip of America to really wrap your mind around that. In other words, basically that's very simple, that the way that you understand God today, tomorrow it should unfold into a more comprehensible level, a more higher level, and a more practical understanding. You shouldn't be crawling like an infant at the age of 7. The baby that is born is not the baby of 18 months. It's the same baby, but it's not the same baby. And the 18-month-old baby, as you see it unfold at 7, yep. Anybody ever see the time lapse of age? It's the same person. You can see the same qualities, but it unfolds. And that's what it means. Man ideal is his God. As man unfold, his God unfold. Every day you should be unfolding into the divine aspect of the ideal and what you subscribe to that is universal in principle. Now, let's take it up a step further. Remember, the name of this demonstration is Jesus spake to the Hindus on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus, or Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. It says, the nations of earth see Allah from different points of view, so he does not seem the same to everyone. He just don't seem the same. He's the same now. Just don't seem the same. Many of the changes or the differences come in with the language barriers. That's it. Take the language barrier away, the essence and the principle of any divine universal teaching is all the same. This is why the language barrier have put us in a place where all nations needs a prophet, because the prophet come into a language in which they can understand to decipher the universal science that has already been delivered in all lands. So everybody, according to all historical documents, that will find themselves in distress where they can't pull themselves out of that distress, is sent a prophet to bring to them the essence of what all nations needed to bring them out of their slumber. The unique thing about the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moors here in America is that out of all the people on the planet Earth, we suffered something that no other nation has suffered. And what that is we suffered an identity crisis. I like to always underscore that when the Jews, the European Jews, whether people want to, I'm not getting into the debate whether what type of Jew, I'm not getting into that. The European Jews that subscribe themselves as Jews, when they came on the opposite side of the Holocaust, they still was calling themselves Jews. They was calling themselves when they went in, and when they came out, they was calling themselves that. When we look at what Napoleon did on the opposite side of that, the people knew who they was. The Congolese, when Napoleon went into ancient Kemet, the indigenous people knew who they was, and on the other side, they knew who they was. When they went up into the Congo, the same thing. With all the atrocities in the Congo, on the other side, they knew they was Congolese. I don't care where you go on the planet Earth, wherever a people was conquered, wherever a people was enslaved, wherever you find the people who was oppressed by another group of people, when it all was over, they knew who they were and who their forefathers were before they went in. The unique thing is, that's not the case with us. Check the whole planet Earth. That's not the case with us. When we came out of being subjected to European psychology and oppression and being oppressed that we like to call slavery, when we came out, we didn't have a clue who we was. We went through stages of, as we know, the Negro, the black, the colored, the Afro-American, the African-American. Today, we got the FBA, we got the ADOS, we got the Hebrews. That's all a direct result of what we experienced. There's no other group of people. When the Japanese was bombed at Nagasaki, they didn't come out talking about that, okay, now I am yellow man of the hills. They didn't come out talking that. They were still Japanese. I mean, they was the same people, and they were still connected to their history. They were still connected to their heritage. Today, we got the indigenous, we got the Indian, we got all sorts of stuff today. That is a direct result. So if any people that needed a prophet, it would be us. According to, if people still believe in prophets anymore. But if you don't, just the psychology of it, that of all the planet Earth, we have suffered in a way that no person on the planet Earth has ever suffered. How could Prophet Muhammad answer the problem of the Negro here in America? It don't work. It don't work. It doesn't work. When I'm saying it doesn't work, that don't take anything away from him being a prophet. He had to answer the problems that they were suffering in the desert of Saudi Arabia. He had to answer those problems. Jesus had to answer the problems of the people that were suffering under the iron hand oppression of the pale-skinned nation of Europe and Palestine. He had to answer to their problems that they was going through at that time. Buddha had to answer to the problems of Hindu that they was facing on the ground in India. You know what I'm saying? He had to answer that problem. Confucius had to answer that problem. So what I'm saying is, in America, who's going to answer our Negro problem? This is hence the term Moorish American, connecting us to our ancient forefathers and foremothers. Our identity crisis has been solved. It's been solved. Now, I don't care if no one ever wants to believe that philosophy. Makes no bit of difference to me. You know what I'm saying? What I mean is, I don't care if they don't want to believe it, because what you eat don't make me. You know what they say? Salvation is personal. But just a little bit logic and common sense, right? A little bit logic and common sense will tell you that we are in an identity crisis. And there is only one person that addressed it. First come, first honor. There's only one person that's addressed it. That's Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It's Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So if you choose just to be foolish and say, well, I ain't that serious, all right. But if I tell you that a man born in the state of North Carolina in 1886, and he can trace us back to ancient Canaanites, that he can trace us back to North Africa, that he can trace us back to the indigenous Americas, that he can trace us back through the planet. He give it to you in our Quran, the sojourn from the land of Canaan all the way across the great Atlantic. He gives it to us. He gives it straight to us. He can do that. Now, hold up. I got to give this a chance. I got to give this a chance. I ain't not heard nothing like it. I got to give this a chance. I give a chance. And then check out the wisdom that he give us in these next few verses. I ain't going to go too far over. Check out the wisdom. We on 17. 17 says, and I want you to listen real close, because this weaves it all together in a way that many of us may have never heard it before. Verse 17, chapter 10. Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. Now remember, the unity of law is saying that man and God is one. That man got the same qualities as God on a microcosmic level. Not on a macro, but on a microcosmic level. He is a mirror image of God. This is what our prophet teaches us. That you are a mirror image of God. Never forget that. Ain't nobody coming to save you but you. The way that you think and you connect to the divine within you is going to be the saving power that saves you. That's it. That's all. Let me show you something. Even a bona fide Christian that say, I choose Jesus as my Lord and Savior, in order for that to be a reality for them, they have to what? Confess with their mouth. They have to make the choice. Same principle. Same principle. You must choose the divine in you so the divine can come out of you. Same principle. Same principle. Now, let's talk about this unity. 17. The nations of the earth see Allah from this point of view, so he doesn't seem the same to all. Man's name's a part of Allah he sees, and to him, this is all of Allah. And every nation sees a part of Allah, and every nation has a name for Allah. Pay close attention to this divine prophet right here. Good goodness of gracious. He said, you Brahms call him Parabrahm. In Egypt, he is Thoth. And Zeus is his name in Greece. Jehovah is his Hebrew name. Listen again. Every nation sees a part of Allah, and every nation has a name for Allah. You Brahms call him Parabrahm. The Brahmin priests, they seen the divine creator as Parabrahm. But when you get into the deeper teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, you get to understand what Parabrahm is. Parabrahm, in the basic English language, is the super soul. It's the super soul. Pay attention, though. It's not a spook. I'm going to read from text 7. If you don't know how to read it, don't worry about it. You can't read it like the Bible. I'm going to read it from text 7, but it's very simple. It says, Jita Atamaya, of one who has conquered his mind. Parasatasa, who has attained tranquility by such control over mind. Parama Atma, the super soul. Parama Atma is Parabrahm. The super soul. Samahita, approached completely. Sita, in cold. Unsta, in heat. Suha, happiness. Dahisu, and I'm going to screenshot this and put it in the chat, and I'm going to break this down in a minute. And distress, in honor, and in dishonor. Let me break it down in the most simplest form for you real quick without me trying to pronunciate and enunciate these words. What it's saying is, to obtain the super soul, you must be balanced, have control over the mind, in cold, in heat, in happiness, in distress, in honor, and in dishonor. In other words, no matter what happens, you must have ma'at. You must have balance. You must have control over the mind. In hot, in cold, in stress, in distress, in honor or dishonor. You must be balanced. That is what the super soul is. This is not talking about no spook. Parabrahm is not no spook. Parabrahm is an ideal that must be met. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It's an ideal that must be met. It says, you Brahmins, they're Brahmin priests, call him Parabrahm. Parabrahm is expressed through a man, a woman. It says the next one, let's deal with the next one. This is the unity of Allah and man. We're not talking about no spook. Sometimes we like to slip back into the slavery of our mind. And when we read this, we think we're talking about some mystical spook out sitting in the clouds somewhere. No. We're talking about an ideal that must be met as you strive to unfold into your divine self. It goes on to say, in Egypt, he is Thoth. Who is Thoth? Thoth is Tahuti. Thoth is, and I'm going to use the term God, of magic. Remember the Magi's that came to see Jesus as a babe when he was born? Magi, magic. It's the God of writing. What did the angel say to Muhammad? Read. He said, read what? Read what? And somewhere in it said, taught man the use of a what? Of a pen. Talking about thought. We're talking about people here that reach the state of a certain unfoldment. It also teaches that Thoth charted the stars. It also teaches, listen, let me get into the next one for my time run out because I get too excited. Let me see. And so the next one, it says, we're talking about, the point I'm trying to get to you is that we're not talking about spooks. We're talking about people with divine developing spirits. And you got the same. These are your forefathers and foremothers. You got the same. It says, and Zeus is his name in Greece. But what do Zeus equivalent to? Zeus is the god of lightning. Equivalent to Amun-Ra, the god of the sun. Allah's noblest image. The sun is not Allah, but his noblest image. You follow me? The sun is not Allah, but his noblest image. Didn't Jesus say, but you will all overcome and become a son of Allah? Didn't that what he said? So Amun-Ra represents the sun, the reflection of the universal creator that give life to all things under its rays. We can demonstrate Amun-Ra, can't we? Can we demonstrate Amun-Ra? Can we demonstrate Zeus? Now this one is unique. Out of everyone that I named, it says every nation has a name for Allah. You Brahm call him Parabram. Egypt he is Thoth. Zeus is his Greece name. What you will notice here is that these are places. The last one that he named is not a place. Jehovah is his Hebrew name. Hebrew is a language. But what do Jehovah mean? I am. Pretty much. And when he talked to the burning bush, what did he say? I am that I am. You can call me what you want. I am. I am. That's not connected to a certain nation. That's connected to a language of a nation. Hebrew is a language, not a nation. I don't care how many Hebrew national hot dogs you eat. It's a language, not a nation. So you get to see that when he's talking about the nation, Prophet Noble Ali put the icing on the cake by saying, I am. I am. That's it. Accepted or rejected. I am. He says, but everywhere, regardless of how you see it, but everywhere, he is the causeless cause and the rootless root from which all life has grown. From which all life is grown. So regardless, let me finish up with this. Regardless of how you perceive God to be, deep inside of you, you got the causeless cause and the rootless root from which all life come from. It's up to you to tap into that infinity within to yourself and develop the power thereof. Where you can think things into existence, where you can think things and solve your problems, where you can think things and make this journey on earth just a little bit more easier. It's up to you. Prophet Noble Ali gives us these examples, and people turn them into spooks of unreachable proportions. We can't reach no parabomb if we don't understand what a parabomb is. We can't reach the state of a super soul if we don't know what a super soul is. And we use the term super soul because that's how the Greeks interpreted the records. But in reality, it's really just balance. That no matter what you're faced with, whether it's heat, whether it's cold, whether it's stress, whether it's distress, no matter what you're faced with, you are unmoved. You are still focusing on the goal to unfold. No matter what you're faced with. I don't care who you are, what station you are in life. It doesn't make no difference. No matter what you're faced with, you face it steady. What? Give me some more. All the drama you got, give me some more. What? Let's go. That's the real deal of the teachings of the divine. It has nothing to, I tell people all the time, whenever you hear a person teaching Moorish science, if you associate it with typical religion, they're lying to you. This is not typical. In fact, it's the old-time religion that was lost. But it's not typical of it. We know religion to be today. Religion to be today, and it's not what it was yesterday. This is why it says in that Holy Quran in the Moorish Science Temple of America that Prophet Noble Ali was to bring the true divine creed of Islam. Because obviously, if he's bringing the true divine creed, there must be a false one out here. What point is it to bring the true and divine creed of Islam if it's already here? That means that there's a false one out here. And we got to do away with the false one and implement the true and divine creed of the old-time religion. And that's bringing out the God in yourself and experiencing the power thereof. Last one, I'm going to say, verse 20. When men are afraid of Allah, they take him as a foe. They dress him up in fancy garbs and call them priests. Let me tell you something. When you begin to demonstrate the Allah qualities, whether you know it or not, people that are just living as man in their carnal self, they're going to be afraid of you. And when I say demonstrate Allah, I don't mean that you got to say it. You ain't got to say nothing. Your energy can say it. Your words, and you ain't even said or articulate the actual verbiage of it. But the way that you talk, the way that you walk, the way you move confidently, that's the energy of Allah. They're going to fear it. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to dress themselves up as priests. They're going to dress other people up. They're going to be looking for somebody to save them from the wrath of Allah. But in reality, the wrath of Allah is of their own doing. Our destruction comes from our own hands. That's the fact of the matter. Our destruction cannot come from another person. Our destruction comes from our own hands. Even if a person is a catalyst to that, there's something that we done to birth that which is yet to come. We birthed it. Thought is the cause of it all. The way we think will be the deciding factor of how we exist. Think like a god, exist like a god. Think like a dog, exist like a dog. Be dragged around by a collar of ideologies. Be dragged around by your collar by misinformation. Be dragged around by the collar of all the crazy stuff that people want to put out into the universe. But when you think like a god, understanding is the rock. And if you don't understand it, just let it go for a minute until you can get understanding. And when you understand, you move on it if it's conducive for your growth and development, your advancement to the next level and to your divine self. We moving divinely, family. With that being said, I done took up too much time. I done took up 15 minutes. The Grand Sheik is going get upset with me, so I'm gonna have to go with that. Islam, Grand Sheik, the floor is yours. I want to say I appreciate every one of you for being patient with me, because I get into the lesson, I get excited a little bit. I get a little bit excited, but I want to appreciate each and every one of you. Praise Allah for this holy day, and all those who attended, all those who are not in attendance, who are working, and honor to my brother Tariq Hawkins Bey. My bro was at work, and we got, I think I see another brother look like he in a uniform at work, and that's what it's all about. You know, we got to take time to labor for our growth and development. And like, we don't have to wear it on our sleeve. We don't have to go in the public and wear it on our sleeve. I done seen Moors so enthusiastic about information, they be sitting in a dump truck with a fez on. They be sitting in the backhoe with a fez on. I say, goodness gracious, is it that serious? Goodness gracious, man, take that fez off and get a hard hat before you kill yourself. What's wrong with you? So I'm just saying, if you're at work, I'm glad to have you here. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you are on the East Coast and you out there in parking lot shoveling snow or and on one of them trucks with their snow truck. Man, don't you ain't got to wear no fez. Just go put a hard hat on, because I want to see you next meeting. Islam. Kenzie Bay might wear his on the back hoe. He love that thing. I just play. Islam, Grand Sheik, the floor is yours. Peace and love.
Islam, Grand Sheik. Beautiful, beautiful demonstration. Islam. On chapter 10, Jesus speak on the unity of Allah, man to the Hindus. And our Grand Sheik truly helped us to appreciate the unity that exists with man and Allah.
So peace and love, family.
He even spoke about the Bhagavad Gita there.
So peace and love, family. Thanks for joining me and the Morning Science Temple of America. We do this every week, and on Sunday, 2:30 to 4:30, we have our Goddess of the Nations class. Anybody is welcome to join. All you have to do is message me or message one of the members. If you know one of the members, message them. You might not know the members because many of the members, they're not as loud as me. Many of the members are busy working. Many of the members are active in their communities, getting things done. So you might don't know the members. But if you happen to know one of the members of the Morning Science Temple of America, we're all over the internet. And we're in the community. If you happen to know one and you're interested in asking some questions or coming and just, dialogue, and just come on in. You also can reach us at joynoble-temples@gmail.com. Looking forward to meeting you and answering some questions. Hey, just be respectful when you come in, and it's all good. Peace and love, family. Peace and love.
That's what we gotta be.
And the thing is, Supreme Grand Sheik, my whole concern is that we need to move with the excitement that the Prophet left us with, so we can go and get our people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we can't have more science boring, like we in church, like over there with the other people. We got to make sure our people are receiving the lessons and they enthusiastic about it.
That's right. We got a new fire that we're gonna be going out on the street with.
I do this for Billy Ill, I do this for Millie Ill, I do this for the Prophet, cause the frauds tried to kill the real. Slandered their name, ran their name to the mud. Now I'm here to